So we're going to give another award out here for Best PC Port of 2020.
All of the two.
There were three.
I got 3 words for you. DLSS.
That's 4 letters.
Yeah.
I'm with you, though. DLSS 2.0. That's my shit.
What was the third one?
For words?
Oh, no. What was the third PC port?
Persona...
Or
Oh, no. I considered that one of the two.
Verizon Zero Down.
Verizon Zero Down.
Okay.
For $0, you can get an iPhone from Verizon on PC.
That's one of my favorite play on words that I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn was ported to PC, and it what's weird is we got 2 Decima engine games, one of which was implemented very well, and the other one wasn't. Death Stranding, which hit PC earlier this year, it's one of the best PC ports I've ever seen. It's excellent. It actually made me want to play through the game again. So,
Let me say this about Verizon Zero Down though: if your PC port legitimately doesn't Cortex runs smoother, and we've talked about that, and what that's built on, and how difficult that was to implement. And Verizon Zero Down is arguably far more buggy.
It's just weird because you have a game built on the same engine that doesn't have those bugs. Right. That's what I found very confusing. And I know they're different dev studios and different publishers, but same engine. You would think that maybe they would have looked over on Kojima's paper to say, oh, maybe we should do this differently. But yeah, it's striking to see these 2 games, same engine, one materially better, one that did ship with DLSS 2.0 support.
To be fair to Verizon Zero Dawn, things do actually happen in the game and in its open world. So it might be tougher to run on your CPU.
Yeah, but the actual environments of Death Stranding are pretty visually impressive. Just if you look at the scope of the levels, I think that there's a lot that needs to be... The DLSS 2.0 implementation in Death Stranding was very noticeable to me. I fired it up on PS4, and then I went back and I went on my PC, and I was like, my God, this is vastly different. And then I went over to the office because I have HDR and a better monitor over there when I was writing the impressions of Death Stranding on PC, and I was floored by it. It's amazing. There's not a whole lot of PC games that came out this year where I was like, oh my God, look at these graphics. Death Stranding on PC was one of those. Doom Eternal was one of those. But those are a brand new release. For a port, I think Death Stranding really did some amazing stuff this year.
Yeah.
That originally was a PlayStation exclusive, and that's normal for that studio to do PC ports, or is that something?
Kojima has made PC games, yeah. Like Phantom Pain was a PC game.
Kojima's done ports before. The team that did the port for Horizon, I believe, has done ports before, but that was the first game from Guerrilla that was moved to PC, although Guerrilla didn't handle it themselves.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they provided
Death Stranding
help.
They provided help, but Death Stranding was done in-house at Kojima Games.
Yep. And if you pre-ordered it on Steam, you got a head crab that was wearable in the game. There's, I don't know, and they even added Half-Life side missions and stuff. They actually added content to the game. It was very cool.
Yeah. Death Stranding actually seems markedly improved in its PC port, which is a cool thing to see. I actually want to Persona 4 Golden is on this list, but I actually want to say that's when you look at it in comparison, it's really just the same PSP game, but with a little bit of an HD brush up, some frame rate, which you don't really need to enjoy Persona 4 at 60 frames per second. It's fine and all, but
Alice is just trolling at this point, though. They're here's a PC port of Persona 4 Golden, and yet we still don't have anything on Switch. Like, there's no mainline Persona games on Switch. Here's the Musu game, though. It's coming to Switch. Like, I don't know. I don't know what Atlas is doing. It's like they don't like me.
I mean, I feel like those games are very, like, they look very simple, but on the back end they're very technical, and maybe they're not as scalable as we think they are.
I just think it's probably hard to fit Persona 5 on a cartridge, so they probably can't do a physical thing. But a digital version of that game's totally possible on Switch. I think that the largest challenge that any Switch port runs into is the scaling back of assets, making things look worse, making them run at 720. Whereas, like, when you bring something to PC and you have DLSS technology, some of that's done, some of the improved texture mapping is done for you by the tech. So it's like, it's quite the opposite, I think, when you're bringing something to the Switch. But that's why I think Death Stranding really shined. But yeah, it wouldn't be the first time that Atlas has ported something over to PC in a lazy manner, but...
I mean, it works. I haven't heard too much about technical hiccups on this thing, but really it's just a port of the PSP game, which, like, PSP's dead at this point, so you can't really get that as easily anymore.
Yeah.
So it's neat, but it's not improved the way that Death Stranding was.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, is that it? Do we have all of our nominees in?
Let's vote.
Let's vote. I got 2 votes because Ozzy had to go to an appointment and David had to go to an appointment, so we got their votes in. They both voted for Death Stranding.
Same.
Okay.
I'll also cast that same vote.
Same with me.
Samesies.
It's so fucking beautiful. Death Stranding all the way.
Mm-hmm.
To
Steve?
death. So
Death Stranding for me.
Greg?
Death Stranding.
EJ?
Death Stranding.
I feel like if Sam was here, he'd vote for Death Stranding. His name is Sam! Sam Porter Bridges! Sam Porter Chandler!
Didn't you vote against Death Stranding earlier?
He did,
Would
but...
Sam somehow try to vote for something Halo? Because I can't keep track of what
Oh
Halo
god,
is.
he would! He
would. He totally would.
Master Chief Collection, okay.
He's a C
He
word.
would.
The best port, yeah, right. Sorry, Sam. Best port runs like
All day
The
long,
fact that you
dude.
can
All
shoot
day long.
through the ground on midship at spawn and kill someone across the level, no way. Absolutely
Do
not.
It's
any
called
of
Pro
us have
Strats.
any doubt that he would still find a way to vote
He would.
for Halo?
He would totally say Halo Master Chief Collection. He's like, it did come out this year and it's a port. He'd say it in
What was
Australian
that?
charming fashion.
That sounded
Okay.
more like what I imagine the Judge Wig
Yes.
personality
If
sounds like.
Sam was wearing a wig, that's what he would sound like.
He would sound British.
Anyway. Oh, Australians are all just British convicts anyway.
Sure, that's how
a
they
time.
look at it.
That's a story for another award show. So almost universal except for Sam's horrible taste. That's 11 votes for Death Stranding, 1 for Halo Master Chief Collection. Congratulations, Kojima-san and Kojima Productions. You have won the Shacknews Best PC Port of 2020. Death Stranding. You do not appreciate logistics companies enough.